It is February 9th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. for our regular city council meeting. Call the meeting to order. We can get a roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Aaron?
Here.
Councilman Fleming?
Here.
Councilor Geralds? Here. Mayor Pro Tem Muir?
Here.
Councilor Rohrbach? Here. Councilor Wright? Here. Mayor Haynes?
Here. All right, next up is the invocation and pledge of allegiance that will be given by Mayor Pro Tem Bill Muir this evening. If anybody is able to, would please rise and take off any head coverings that aren't religious.
Let us take a moment to center ourselves in gratitude for this community that we have the privilege to serve. As we gather during Black History Month, we honor the generations of Black Americans whose courage, creativity, and perseverance have shaped our nation and enriched our city. Their stories remind us that progress is built through resilience, that justice requires vigilance, and that every voice deserves to be heard. May we carry forward this legacy by striving for fairness, dignity, and the opportunity for all who call Madison Heights home. We also begin our Random Acts of Kindness week next week, a reminder that small gestures can have a profound impact. Kindness is not only a personal virtue, it's a civic strength. It builds trust, deepens connections, and helps us see one another not as strangers but as neighbors. May we lead with empathy, speak with respect, and act with the generosity in the decisions that we make here tonight and in the days ahead. Let this meeting be guided by wisdom, humility, and shared commitment towards the common good. May our work reflect the best of who we are and hope of what we can become together. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next up is the approval of the agenda. First, are there any additions or deletions to tonight's agenda?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I would like to make an addition to the agenda to add under reports, I believe, the recommendation of special counsel for a case Baha Al-Haddad versus City of Madison Heights.
Okay, is there a second?
Ron,
Yes.
support.
All right, we have a motion support. Any discussion? All right, let's take a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries. Moving on to presentations. The first presentation tonight is the Fire Chief with the 2025 Fire Department Awards.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Deputy Chief Ray Gilson. I'm here to proudly present to you our 2025 Fire Department Awards. The first award is going to be our Civilian Citation Award. So if I could have the three people come up next to me. We have Laura Schultz, Stephen Crane, and Harley James. The Madison Heights Fire Department is proud to recognize Stephen Crane, Harley James, and Laura Schultz with a civilian citation for their heroic actions on December 19th, 2025. That afternoon, before fire units arrived at a structure fire on West Gardenia, these three individuals acted without hesitation. After noticing heavy smoke coming from the residence, Mr. Crane entered the smoke-filled home and rescued the occupant. With the assistance of Ms. James and Ms. Schultz, the resident was safely moved outside, cared for, and kept warm until firefighters arrived. Ms. James, an off-duty first responder, also provided critical information and initial assessment, helping ensure timely care. Their quick thinking, courage, and compassion directly contributed to a positive outcome that may have saved a life. On behalf of the Madison Heights Fire Department, we thank them for their selfless actions and for representing the very best of our community. I'm pleased to present Laura Smith, Stephen Crane, and Harley James, the Madison Heights Fire Department Civilian Citation Award. in a time when there's so much news of unrest and division, it's great to see members of our community come together and be strong for each other. Our next award is going to be a unit citation award. On December 6th, 2025, Lieutenant Damon Brown, firefighters Kevin Kelly, Chris Allman, and Jeffrey Babcock responded to a high-risk rescue involving an overturned SUV resting precariously on another vehicle with 2 occupants trapped inside. Upon arrival, crews encountered an extremely unstable and dangerous scene, with bystanders and police physically supporting the vehicle to prevent it from further moving. Recognizing the immediate life safety hazard, MHFD personnel quickly conducted a rapid assessment and initiated primary vehicle stabilization, decisively reducing the risk of catastrophic movement and creating a safer environment for rescue operations. As additional units from the Royal Oak Fire Department arrived, MHFD seamlessly integrated into a unified rescue effort, demonstrating exceptional interagency coordination and communication. Together, crews enhanced stabilization at all critical points before proceeding with extrication, resulting in the safe removal of both the patients without further injury to the occupants or first responders and bystanders. The professionalism, technical skill, and composure these firefighters displayed during a rare and highly hazardous incident exemplify the highest standards of emergency care for the extraordinary effort. If I could have Kevin Kelly, Chris Allman, and firefighter Jeffrey Babcock. Lieutenant Brown is ill. He was unable to make it tonight. I'm pleased to present a unit citation award to Lieutenant Brown, firefighter Kelly, firefighter Allman, and firefighter Babcock. The next award, we have the Distinguished Service Award, and I did it out of order last time, so if we can get firefighter Allman and firefighter Lucas Smith, please. You're going to see a theme the rest of these awards here. Engine 72 and Rescue 72 responded to a medical alarm and staged upon arrival. Firefighter Smith and Allman advanced to the scene and encountered a volatile domestic disturbance involving an adult male and his mother inside a 7th-floor apartment. During the interaction, the individual suddenly rushed towards a window with the clear intent of jumping. Recognizing the immediate and life-threatening risk, firefighter Smith and Allman acted without hesitation, physically intervening to restrain the individual and prevent him from harming himself. Upon the arrival of Engine 72, the individual was safely removed from the window and secured until police took custody of him. During the intervention, firefighter Smith sustained a non-threatening knee injury. Their decisive actions, teamwork, and willingness to place themselves in harm's way directly prevented a tragic outcome, exemplifying the highest standards of public service and professionalism. I am pleased to present firefighter Chris Allman and Lucas Smith with our Distinguished Service Award. One more, but you can stay up here, Chris. This is for Firefighter of the Year. The Madison Heights Fire Department is extremely pleased to announce the selection of Chris Allman as the 2025 Firefighter of the Year. Firefighter of the Year is not a participation award. It honors those whose daily actions, character, and commitment consistently rise above the ordinary. This year, that firefighter is Chris Allman. Chris stands out not for one dramatic moment, but the way he shows up every day with professionalism, consistency, and heart. As a paramedic, he is calm, disciplined, and compassionate, treating every resident with respect and care. His pride in serving the community he lives in is evident on every call. Within the station and on the fire ground, Chris is the steady presence that others rely on. He steps into difficult roles, leads by example, and mentors newer firefighters with humility and accountability. He anticipates what is needed, supports his coworkers often, sacrificing his own time so others can be with their families, and quietly looks out for his crew's well-being. Dependable, honorable, and dedicated, Chris Allman truly represents the best of the Madison Heights Fire Department. For his service to the community community and the fire department, we are honored to recognize Chris Allman as the 2025 Firefighter of the Year.
Okay, thank you. Next up on the agenda, we're here to hear from our police chief on a presentation thanking community partners for assistance in finding a lost child.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Thank you for having me. Mr. Brinkley was supposed to be here, and he's not here, so we're going to just adapt and overcome. And I got to put these on, which means I am now an old chief, not a new chief. On Sunday, February 1st, 2026, the Madison Heights Police Department received a call of a missing child. Many times, these calls resolve quickly with a family member or officer locating the child nearby. This one, however, unfolded into an unimaginable scenario. A 6-year-old nonverbal autistic boy was missing, and we had no idea where he had gone. As the situation developed, more road patrol officers responded. Minutes turned into hours, and the first responders' presence grew. We alerted the public through social media, and the community took the call to action personally, as if they had lost one of their own. A mobile command post was established at Madison Elementary. It was so illuminated, it looked like daytime. Citizens drove through the area with their flashers on. Media cruised the side streets. Police officers and firefighters moved in and out of the building as search assignments expanded. By the end of the operation, nearly 30 public safety agencies responded to assist the Madison Heights Police Department, including federal, state, county, and local partners. Helicopters, drones, thermal imagers, search and rescue teams, and canines were all deployed searching for little Jonathan. Our dispatchers managed constant radio traffic and phone calls, fielding just about every imaginable tip. Detectives canvassed and conducted interviews, searching for any shred of a lead. Literally hundreds of officers and firefighters systematically worked block by block around Jonathan's home. Yet, there was not a single sighting. At this point, Jonathan had been missing for nearly 8 hours in sub-zero temperatures, possibly without gloves. It was time to address the media and make a direct appeal to the community, asking residents to check their own properties, including inside their homes, in the off chance a door had been left unlocked. Just after the press conference concluded, as camera crews exited the parking lot, the call came across the radio. Jonathan had been found. Tense moments followed as I learned his condition. When I was told he was perfectly fine, I let out a sigh of relief I'll never forget. Some may call it good fortune, others may call it divine intervention. Jonathan had entered an unlocked home on Cousins, very close to his own home, and made himself comfortable. Much like Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone, Jonathan found the finest amenities within, including toys in a tub. Later, I learned the homeowner, Mr. LeBron Brinkley, had been out with his family all day. As he returned home, he received the same alert many of you did and saw the scene unfolding on his block. He had no idea what awaited him inside his home. When he discovered Jonathan, Mr. Brinkley acted immediately, notifying nearby first responders who rushed to Jonathan's aid. And just like that, the terrifying night was over, ending in a way none of us could have predicted, especially given the length of time Jonathan had been missing. It was a night many will never forget, a night defined by heroes who come together with one mission, to find Jonathan Scatabo alive and well. I stand here today with my community to say that our mission was a success, and it was successful because of the collective efforts of so many. To the men and women of the Madison Heights Police Department, there is no better law enforcement agency to handle a challenge like this. To the Madison Heights Fire Department, now that you've vacated, there's one couple left here. Thank you for searching alongside us and caring for Jonathan once he was rescued. To our partnering first responder agencies, your resources and expertise were invaluable. To the Madison Heights community, your compassion and willingness to help at a moment's notice was truly inspiring. Thank you. Thank you very much. And lastly, to Mr. Brinkley, thank you for providing a warm, safe place for Jonathan to wait until he was discovered. I know his family will forever be grateful. At this time, I ask City Council to please stand and join me in a round of applause for Mr. Brinkley and for all those who assisted in bringing Jonathan home safely. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Chief. All right, there are no public hearings this evening, so we'll move into meeting open to the public. Just a reminder to keep your comments limited to 3 minutes, and please direct them towards me as the chair.
City Council. My name is Dennis Thomason, 29098 Spoon, Madison Heights, of course. Your Honorable Mayor Corey Haynes, distinguished City Council members, thank you very much for having me here. I just want to talk about our trash company that's taking our trash in and out. Myself, I shovel probably 10 houses around my area for people that are elderly, diabetic, shouldn't be out there at 85 years old, cancer. I have one girl, Annie Nags, I don't know, Emily, if you remember who that is, she's only got one leg. So I take their trash out and I bring it back in. And when I do their snow, I clear a big section out for the trash cans to be able to go out there and then be put back on there. Trying to help the waste garbage trucks, the people that do that. And I gotta say, these cans are all over the place. They're laying in the road, and just this last Thursday, I had a garbage truck going probably over 30 miles an hour. That's a 35,000-pound truck. And when they're fully loaded, we're talking about almost 66,000. And I think that equates to like 32 tons. There is no way that those trucks are going to be able to stop. I don't know if they're on a time limit, union, whatever they're doing, but these cans out in the road are a disaster. I've taken a lot of pictures of it throughout my neighborhood, and they're all the same. They're just left in the roads, on the ground, laying down sideways. Mine was just tipped right over, pointing right to the center of the road, almost blocking off northbound on Spoon. So I called them, let them know that they got to slow these trucks down and please put these things back on the easement. They have a lift that picks it up and throws it on there. The hard part is the people that I don't open up that easement for them to put their stuff on, they got to drag that heavy can out there. When the trash people are done with it, it's light now. They can just toss it up on the easement and get them off the street. That's all I got to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else? Oh.
Cars being left on the road between 7 and 4:30.
Yes.
We're getting that throughout my subdivision. Mark, Sherry, Shackett, Spoon. That's a lot of money, for garbage people. I know that's probably union, right?
That I don't know. Not sure.
Pretty good money. So,
Okay.
kind of like do the job.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, we will close public comment and move into the next item on the agenda, which is the consent agenda. We have 4 items on the consent agenda this evening. First one being the police chief, the Oakland County P25 simulcast system interlocal agreement, the Community and Economic Development Director, Community Development Block Grant, CDBG funded yard service, lawn service, 2026 Random Acts of Kindness Proclamation, Show Us Your Kind, And number 7, the City Council regular meeting minutes of January 26, 2026. Prior to asking for a motion, I would like to read the proclamation on behalf of the Random Acts of Kindness. Especially since this is the 30th anniversary of when Margene Scott, former councilwoman, a retired councilwoman, first started Random Acts of Kindness here in Madison Heights. So proclamation, Random Acts of Kindness Week. Whereas our daily news is dominated by tragic stories of crime, violence, and disaster, often leaving citizens with feelings of despair and helplessness. And whereas 29 years ago, former Councilwoman Margene Scott created the very first proclamation and introduced Random Acts of Kindness Week to the city of Madison Heights, and has helped the city celebrate Random Acts of Kindness each year since through her dedicated services to the city, and continues to do so after her retirement back in 2019. And whereas Random Acts of Kindness Week is enacted to encourage Madison Heights residents to commit conscious acts of goodwill as an affirmation of the goodness and generosity of the human spirit. And whereas by performing small acts of kindness on a daily basis, we have an opportunity to recognize and celebrate the far-reaching effects we as individuals can have on the world around us. And whereas it is time for everyone to exemplify kindness in our daily lives and make an effort to be better humans. Remember to show us you're kind. The work of being kind never ends, and kindness is truly essential to our survival. Being kind every day is one way we can all make a difference. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and city council proclaim the week of February 15th through the 21st, 2026 as Random Acts of Kindness Week, and urge all citizens to join in celebrating the week with acts of kindness, patience, and understanding, and we challenge you to make kindness a way of life all year long. And again, great thanks to retired Councilwoman Margene Scott for making this happen. All right, what is the wish of City Council for the consent agenda?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as submitted.
Okay, is there support?
Your Honor.
Yes.
Support.
All right, we have a motion and support. Any further discussion?
Your Honor,
Yes.
thank you for reading that proclamation. I was going to ask you to do that.
Yes. You're very welcome. Well deserved. Any other discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion carries. There are no communications this evening, so we'll move on to reports. Number 8 being the Library Advisory Board, 2026 Board and Commission's Work Plan.
Submitted for council's consideration is the Library Advisory Board's 2026 work plan. Should council feel that the plan meets their expectations, a motion to approve the plan would be in order. If the plan does not meet your expectations, it's recommended that you send it back to the Library Advisory Board with revisions.
All right, what's the wish of City Council?
Your Honor,
Yes.
make a motion to support the Library Advisory Board's plan for 2026.
Okay, is there support?
Your Honor,
Yes.
support.
All right, we have a motion and support. Any discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries. On to the next report from the city attorney, resolution amending the official map for allowed parcels for adult use marijuana establishments.
So this resolution amends the official map for allowed parcels for adult-use marijuana establishments. Specifically, this map identifies and reduces the individual parcels that are eligible for the location of adult-use marijuana establishments. Staff recommends that City Council adopt this resolution and amend the official map for allowed parcels for adult-use establishments as presented.
Okay, thank you. What is the wish of City Council?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I make a motion that we adopt the resolution to amend the official map of allowed parcels for adult marijuana establishments as
Okay.
presented.
Is there support?
Your Honor,
Yes.
support.
All right, we have a motion and support. Any discussion?
Your Honor.
Yes.
I want to make a note here so the public knows that, that the map is drastically changing from what it was currently to what it is now. Currently, that we're going to hopefully approve, that the map had over probably 30 or more parcels before called, they were part of the green zone. And now it's only going to be limited down to the current marijuana facilities that we currently have in the city right now. I just want to let everybody, let the public know that.
Just one point of clarification. It's not only the current facilities, but there's a strip of 10 Mile. Some
Oh,
of the
that's
ones
right.
on 10 Mile aren't, but it's drastically, Councilman Fleming is correct, it drastically reduces the amount of parcels that would be allowed.
I do have one clarity. So is on the 10 Mile parcels that are still going to remain, are those adjacent to the trailer or the mobile home park that's there, the homes?
Well, the mobile home park's located on the other side of the freeway,
Okay,
so that is a border. There were some ones along that portion north that have been removed to get more of a buffer zone with that as well.
okay.
Additionally, right now, at one point there was 5 licenses. We have removed one of the licensees and they're not gonna be returning, so that brings it down to 4. And those aren't gonna be in the vicinity of mixed-use residential now. The only reason we're keeping the 10 Mile is just to have some flexibility. Council wanted to address some issues in the future about the industry.
Okay, any further discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. The motion carries. If we could, I'd like to re-recognize Police Chief Brent Lemarese, as it looks like one of our honorees this evening is in attendance now. Chief?
Sure, thank you again, Mayor. Mr. Brinkley, if you could step forward. I'm not going to tell the whole tear-jerker emotional story that I told earlier, but this is Mr. Brinkley. He discovered Jonathan when he came home. He took quick action, and he went out and got the first responders, and he provided, maybe inadvertently, but provided a safe, warm place for Jonathan while we're all looking for him. So I want to, again, if Mayor and Council could stand and applaud Mr. Brinkley. And as an addition, I have a little certificate of appreciation to present to you as well.
This is great.
And I didn't know if you wanted to, speak at all?
Yeah.
I know you weren't prepared to.
Yes. No, I just want to say thank you guys so much. It really means a lot. I just was explaining, I've just never seen like an entire community come together in the way that they did, better yet to be a part of that, and I'm so glad, I'm honored. I thank you guys for your support, and just thank you again. I'm speechless pretty much. Thank you so much.
Can we also include his
Thank you.
family in
Bless you.
this? They were also instrumental in
Yes.
Jonathan doing okay when they got home.
Come on up, family.
Come on up, family.
We should say,
And my family as well.
And what's the name of the dog that kept him company?
Nala.
Yes. All right. Thank you for that. All right, moving back to reports. Our last report for the evening from the city attorney, the resolution amending the official map for allowed parcels for medical marijuana establishments.
So this is the same conversation, but it's medical marijuana instead of adult use. So staff recommends that city council adopt a resolution amending the official map of allowed parcels for medical marijuana establishments as presented.
All right, what is the wish of city council?
Your Honor,
Yes.
make a motion that we adopt the resolution to the amended official map allowing parcels for medical marijuana establishments as presented.
Okay, is there support?
Your Honor.
Yes. Support. All right, we have a motion and support. Any discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. The motion carries. And I was wrong, we have one more that we added at the beginning of the meeting. Number 11, which is to follow the recommendation of special counsel in El Haddad v. City of Madison Heights. What is the wish of City Council?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, we were talking. Excuse me, pardon me, I am discombobulated. All right, so I make a motion to adopt the recommendation of special counsel in the case of Baha Al-Haddad versus City of Madison Heights.
Okay, is there support?
Your Honor, support.
All right, we have a motion and support. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no.
No.
Motion carries. Next up is bid awards and purchases we have the police chief again, for renewal of the towing contract with Service Towing.
So the city's towing services contract with Service Towing expires March 31st of 2026. After consultation with legal counsel, staff recommends renewing the contract based on Service Towing's more than 30 years of reliable service, fair and competitive pricing, and strong operational performance. Service Towing consistently provides prompt response to accident scenes, maintains a robust and well-equipped fleet, and continues to invest in service enhancements, including planned modernization of an impound lot to address electric vehicle safety concerns. This 10-year agreement would also provide cost stability by mitigating inflationary impacts. The contract raises the cost per tow by $5 for the first 5 years, and then $5 per tow in the second 5 years, years 6 through 10, as well as increases the facility fee, which is paid to the city, by $250 a month. The contract also permits the city and the contractor the right to extend the contract past the initial contract period with a consent of either party. Police Chief Brent Lemerez recommends that City Council approve the 10-year renewal of the towing contract with Service Towing and the City of Madison Heights and authorize the mayor and city clerk to sign on behalf of the city. And we have representatives for Service Towing here, as well as the police chief, if you have any questions.
All right, what is the wish of City Council?
Your Honor.
Yes.
Move that council approves the 10-year renewal of the towing contract with Service Towing.
Okay, is there support?
Your Honor,
Yes.
support.
All right, we have a motion and support. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing none, I just want to make more of a statement than discussing anything, but I had the fortunate ability to work with Service Towing while I was here for 31 years, and they have been outstanding. They're like part of the family as well because, you know, they show up when you ask for a wrecker to be there. They're there within minutes. They clear the scenes. They do better than any other company that I've ever met. And for them to only be increasing, you know, the tows by $5 is just remarkable, that they're still doing such a fantastic job for our city. So thank you, Chief, and thank you for staff to bring this to our attention. Since there's no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. The motion carries. Moving on to our next topic, which is ordinances. The first one being City Attorney, Ordinance Number 2210, Amendment to Number of Adult Use Marijuana Facility Licenses, first reading.
This ordinance amends Section 7-405C of the city's Adult Use Marijuana Facilities Ordinance to reduce the number of adult use marijuana facilities, retailer and processor, issued in Madison Heights from 5 to 4. Further, this ordinance will limit the number of transporters to 1, safety compliance facilities to 4, and grower Class C from 25 to 8. Staff recommends City Council adopt ordinance number 2210 on first reading and schedule the second reading for our next meeting, which is February the 23rd.
All right, what is the wish of City Council?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion the City Council adopts ordinance number 2210 on first reading and schedule the second reading for February 23rd, 2026.
Okay, thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor.
Yes.
Support.
All right, have motion and support. Any discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries. On to the next ordinance from the city attorney, ordinance number 2211, amendment to the number of medical marijuana facility licenses, first reading.
So there's two of all of these, one for adult use and one for medical. So this is for medical. This ordinance amends Section 7-305D of the city's medical marijuana facilities ordinance to reduce the number of medical marijuana facilities licensed, retailer, processor, and grower issued in Madison Heights from 5 to 4. Further, this ordinance will limit the number of transporter to 1 and safety compliance facilities to 4. Staff recommends City Council adopt ordinance number 2211 on first reading and schedule the second reading for February the 23rd.
Great, what is the wish of city council?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I'll recommend that City Council adopt ordinance 2211 on its first reading and schedule second reading for February 23rd, 2026.
Okay, is there support?
Your Honor?
Yes. All right, we have a motion and support. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. The motion carries. Next one from the city attorney, ordinance number 2209, amendment to adult use marijuana facilities hours of operation, first reading.
This ordinance amends Section 7-312E of the city's adult marijuana facilities ordinance to extend the permitted hours of operation for licensed provisioning centers from the current 8 to 8 framework to an 8 to 10 p.m. in order to match actual practice in Madison Heights and align with regional norms within an approximate 10-mile radius. Staff recommends that City Council adopt ordinance 2209 on first reading and schedule the second reading for February the 23rd.
All right, what is the wish of the city council?
Your Honor,
Yes.
make a motion to the City Council adopt ordinance number 2209 on first reading and schedule the second reading for February 23rd, 2026.
Okay, is there support?
Your Honor,
Yes.
support.
All right, we have a motion and support. Any discussion?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I just wanted to note on this, I know we talked a lot, we just made motions to change the ordinance to reduce the amount of facilities and to reduce the green space. And so this one kind of is not related to what we just did. And I want to acknowledge that and allowing them to operate in hours that are competitive with other facilities in the area. So I think it's significant because if someone were to look back, they might say, well, gee, you shrunk the number of facilities, but now you're going to vote to increase their hours. What's going on there? It's just to allow it to be competitive and to thrive. I personally was never against the facilities in total, but just that we have controls on how it's handled and how, as a city, we keep control on how they're managed going forward. So I'm supporting them being open longer, but I just think we need to just acknowledge that in case there are questions in the future about it.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries. And the last one, from the city attorney, ordinance number 2212, amendment to medical marijuana facilities hours of operation, first reading.
So this extends the hours for the medical marijuana use facilities, which are the same facilities that we're talking about. So this ordinance amends Section 7-312E of the city's medical marijuana facilities ordinance, extending the hours from 8 to 8 to 8 to 10 in order to match the actual practice. Staff recommends that City Council adopt ordinance 2212 on first reading and schedule the second reading for February the 23rd.
Okay, what is the wish of city council?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I move the council adopts ordinance 2212 on first reading and schedules the second reading for February 23rd, 2026.
Okay, is there support?
Your Honor,
Yes.
support.
All right, we have a motion and support. Any discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. The motion carries. All right, we are all the way up to council's closing comments. So this evening, we'll start with Councilwoman Aaron.
Thank you, Your Honor. I want to first thank the awardees tonight for the fire department. You know, the service goes unrecognizable, so I appreciate them for all of their kind work. I also want to touch base on the garbage truck, and funny that we said it, I had a couple of neighbors come out to me last week, stating that I live directly across the street from Page. And the garbage department decided they are coming now when school is letting out. So we have snowbanks that are all full. Cars are everywhere parked, so we're putting our garbage out. Nonetheless, they can't get to the garbage cans because cars are parked there and they're inside of the snow. So people want to know, why are they coming when school is letting out? It's impossible for them to pick up the garbage. And to my surprise, my son was out of town and I had to pull that big heavy garbage can back to the back and it was full. I'm like, I need a little bit more muscle here. So, you know, I do understand what you were saying in regards to the garbage trucks. Also, I want to, again, I know everybody is probably going to say the same thing, but Mr. Brinkley's courage and the way Madison Heights showed up last week was beyond phenomenal. I have never, in all of my 50-something years of living, I've only watched rescue services like this on television. You know, you've seen it, you heard the news reports, but to actually live in a community where you're seeing flashing red and blue lights, and you're seeing big lights coming through your window, and you're hearing the helicopters flying over, and you're seeing the drones, and you're just constantly getting beings on your social media. It was beyond a movie. It was a blessing that Jonathan found his way into a home of a Christian man that was saved. And this story could have turned out so much worse. When you seen all the water that was there, it was remarkable. And Mr. Brinkley has left, but because I have so many church friends that goes to church, I cannot tell you how many people text me and said, Toya, I know him. He goes to my church. He sung and praise and worship here. He does it. So it's just, this man was God sent. And I am so thankful that Jonathan is home. And I have several friends that have nonverbal autistic kids. So I just thank Madison Heights. This is what community is. This is what community is about. This is what love is. And we set aside every other difference, and we look for this young baby as if he was our very own. And I applaud the city. I am so thankful and grateful to be a part of this city. Finally, you know, March is moving really fast. We are already in the 9th day of February. So mark your calendars for March, which is National Nutrition Month. And the library will be doing our first speaker series for this year. And March 4th and March 18th at 6:30, which is a Wednesday. So 6:30 to 7:30, we have some wonderful speakers that are going to be coming out, talking about nutrition and how to get healthy and how to eat right. We're also going to have a couple of local restaurants that are going to be sponsoring some very low costly, how did they put it? Budget-friendly meals. That's the word I'm using. Budget-friendly meals throughout, you know, so you can go in so we can get our bodies right. So I'm looking forward to that. I've told you all the time, this I think is going to be really, really great because it's National Nutrition and we all want to do something before, you know, we take off the winter coats, right? All right, that's all I got to say for tonight.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Muir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, congratulations, the Fire Department Awards, and as Councilwoman Aaron mentioned, the way the community came together was pretty amazing. Kind of emphasizes our creating community, new city motto. So we could go on all night about how special that was, but really did hit home that for 35 years I've called this place home, and I was really proud of the way our city reacted that night. The great work by the Library Advisory Board, as Councilwoman Aaron mentioned, the speaker series is coming up. I'd like to ask something that we've discussed with the Library Board and the Historical Board, and we've discussed here before, is getting together with other groups and kind of combining events. So from the Historical Commission's standpoint, we would love to know any time you have something, other groups have something planned up here, if you could make sure we're aware of that. We'd like to try and open the downstairs and show everybody a little history of Madison Heights. The library is doing the speaker series, so please help us promote that. It's some wonderful information. I attended all but one of them last couple of years. The attendance is a little light, so really good information, and folks are working really hard to get that stuff lined up, so help get that message out there for us. Reminder, next week is Random Act of Kindness. My little reminder here, if you're wondering why I have a rock and why I banged myself trying to put my coat on because it was in my coat pocket, it says that a simple act of kindness can cause an endless ripple. So in a world where so much is going on, take a couple of minutes to be kind and affect somebody's life, and it will carry forward. So please be part of that ripple. And it doesn't have to just be next week. Make it every day. That's all I got, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Counselor Wright.
Thank you, Your Honor. First, happy Black History Month. Black history is American history, and to acknowledge it is to not disparage any other part of history. It's just to take a moment to say, hey, you're cool too. So I love it when we celebrate Irish history and we celebrate Spanish history, but it's Black History Month, so happy Black History Month. I also want to acknowledge the community as a whole for the synergy and the love and support and empathy that came out. It was kind of overflowing to the point where it was like 5 cars in a row going down streets, which, you know, was cool, but was like, wow, it's a lot of love going on at one time. So I want to acknowledge the community again, acknowledge the hearts. You know, as a father of 3, my heart went out to that family. You know, and I know others of us know the family of the child. I would just like to publicly ask, if you haven't seen it already, just to respect their privacy a little bit for anyone watching this or hearing this. If we can avoid using the kid's name, and you know, fostering is a commendable job, and it is something you have to have a heart and a passion to do. So I ask that we respect their privacy as they recover from this and they move on, because you know, that's a lot of eyeballs on one family. So, and you know, just as I had empathy for that kid being lost, I could only imagine the, you know, the feeling as a parent and people around you. So I respect them. And thank you again to Mr. Brinkley. You might have heard my phone go off. He shot me a message, and because normally my phone doesn't go off, and I just, forgive me for texting you, and I was like, we're in the middle of a meeting. So I'm glad he got to come up, but as everyone already has known, this man he's a good person, period, full stop. He's just a good person, and the thing about this whole scenario, the details get lost, is like, you know, he does have a dog. He has a dog that some might not consider, his dog's a friendly dog, but his breed of dog is one that some have a bad stereotype for, and a pit bull. And so, and that dog knew what to do. That dog had the sense to know what to do for that child and what that child needed, and to sit there. And, you know, I wish that sometimes we could all have that similar compassion for each other in moments, to see what each other needs outside of what we see in front of us. So, because that's a lesson to be learned. That's the story that wasn't told, how compassionate and friendly and empathetic the dog was to a stranger in his house that he played with all day. And also extending that compassion to Mr. Brinkley and his family, because they are displaced a little bit right now. For those who don't know, there was water damage to their home. There's a GoFundMe. But for anyone who has had damage to their home, it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with, particularly when you have, we all just saw they have a young family. So if you want to help, help. And help doesn't always mean give money. It does mean start a meal train. It does mean maybe, hey, if you see like something, you can help them with their snow or something, help them out, because, you know, just like helping the family find the kid, we could all use a hand. So when I think about random acts of kindness, that's what I think about doing, just being there for each other. And, you know, one of my good friends, he always reminds me, you are who you are when no one's looking. So let's be those same good neighbors when it's not on Facebook, when it's not in the national news, when no one's asking about what's going on with the family. Let's still be those same kind, good neighbors. Thank you and congratulations again to our first responders and for all they do every day. I know the chief's right there. Thank you for your guys, for being organized, always being prepared, always being a good representative of our community, making us look easy, making us look good, making it look easy. I certainly, and I know we all appreciate everything that you guys do. I always end every closing comments with the same saying, and it's just remember to be kind, because at the end of the day, that's one of the only things that really matter. So remember to be kind. Oh, not done, because of course I always forget something. The HREC is, I forgot two things actually. HREC has tentatively scheduled a adaptive game night for March 25th. Another adaptive game night. It's for our ADA community, so it's scheduled for the 25th. It should be in the Breckenridge Room, so keep an eye out for that. And there are members of the community who were very moved by how we all came together, and they wanted to put together a way to commemorate and to try and bring people together still. So they're organizing we'll call it a gathering to commemorate the community coming together on February 25th. It's going to be at the fire station, tentatively, so around 6:30. I've already talked to the mayor and Mayor Pro Tem. I haven't had an opportunity to reach out to my fellow council members, but if you're available, the organizers, it's one of those things where we came together as a community and they just were so touched by that they want to keep it moving. And so if you are available, please come on by. There's no script for it. There's no rules to it. I'm sure the mayor or the Mayor Pro Tem will be asked to say a few words, and council will be around those who can attend, and it's just a social gathering. So if you're available, please come on by, and more details to come as I get them. That's all.
Okay, thank you. City Attorney Tim Burns.
Just briefly, I just wanted to expand a little bit on one of the firefighter awards that we had. Oftentimes, when you hear firefighter, you think of them running into a burning building, or maybe thinking of them cleaning up a accident, vehicle collision. But they often are sent in as medical techs now, and that emergency medical has become such a big issue. They received an award today about someone who was trying to throw themselves off a 8-story building. I wanted to let you know that call originally came in as a medical call, which had them rushing to provide service. As the calls kept coming in from the site, it evolved into a domestic violence situation. There were people endangered on the site as well as the individual himself who was the issue of the call. These firefighters were the first responders. They were the first ones there, and it wasn't really what they thought they were going into when they got their initial call. So I hope we all give them a lot of support and response, knowing that they are in those type of situations often going on. And from my reviewing the scene, there's a lot of humility in how they addressed it, because one of those firefighters, it was a life or death situation where that other individual was about to take them over the railing with them. The person didn't care about their life, and they didn't care about the firefighter's life. Police officers and the other firefighters were able to stabilize the situation and get that person assistance, and eventually the matter got resolved. But we could be having a whole different story right now. And I just want fire department to know that I appreciate them, and I understand that even though they might not be patting themselves on the shoulder, they deserve a pat on the shoulder.
Okay, thank you. City Manager Marsh?
Just two things. In honor of Random Acts of Kindness Week, the city will be holding a Residence Kindness Bingo. And we will also be holding a Gratitude Kindness Chain. So if you're in City Hall and have some gratitude that you would like to write on the chain, and we will be posting a Past Kindness Along video to hopefully spread the idea that Margene Scott started years ago through social media. And in addition to that, our community also came together on the following Tuesday, this past Tuesday, when Ricky Bustler organized a Have a Heart animal fundraiser at the Coach, which if you haven't been to the Coach, it's a great restaurant located on DeQuinder, just south of 11 Mile. and they raised over $3,000. So the coach originally was donating 10% of the sales, which was roughly around $600, but they stepped that up and donated $1,000. So there will be a check presentation to the mayor, I think on Friday at 11:30, kind of to be determined. But if you could go out and support the coach, even though I don't like to wait in line there, I would encourage you to do that because they are a great community partner, and this community really turned out in full force for that event as well.
Great, thank you. City Clerk?
Yes, I just have one comment. I just want to remind everybody at the next city council meeting, the council will be considering their appointments to citizen boards and commissions. So if you're interested in serving on a board, you can find out the names of all the boards and little brief descriptions of each of them on our website, as well as you can find an application on the website. You could please submit that by Friday, though, so that we could have them in the council's packet so they can review them. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilor Rohrbach?
Yes, happy Black History Month. Then the next thing is the Environmental Citizens Committee is a group that works very hard to encourage sustainable use of resources and all kinds of things here in the city. And one of the things that we do is encourage native garden planting in the city. There is a native garden grant award that is, people can apply, anyone could apply to receive a garden grant this year. It'll be our third year of doing the garden grants. And they are funded completely by the sales, like native plant sales that we do here in the parking lot. We used to do them twice a year, we do them once a year now, but a lot of people come out and support that, and the funds from that go to support these garden grants. And they go to organizations, individuals, residences, businesses, anyone can apply for one of these grants. It's really easy. It's a simple Google form to fill out to apply. And right now, it's easy to find on the Environmental Citizens Committee Facebook page. I would love it if we could throw it up on the Madison Heights website, so it's easy for folks to find there in case they're not on any social media. But take a look at that, and if you have a garden or have a dream of having a native garden that you can create in your own yard, in your own property, please fill out an application because we want to get those out to residents. I think the application ends April 1st this year. Next is, I just want to remind, thank you, Dennis, for coming in and talking about the garbage truck speeding. I think we take those concerns to Priority Waste on a regular basis, and they have cameras on their trucks and things like that, and they have promised us that they're going to keep on it, and they're going to check those and keep their drivers accountable. And I know those guys work hard, but also our residents deserve to be safe in their neighborhood. So we're going to make sure that we follow up with Priority Waste on these concerns. And I also want to make sure that, I don't know if you know, but remind everybody watching that there is a service for anybody who is physically unable to get your garbage can to the street. There's an application on the website, on the Madison Heights website. If you have a physical disability, you can apply, and Priority Waste will offer a service that if you are disabled and unable to move the trash and recycling carts to the curb, they will come and retrieve those carts and take them to curb for you. So please, if you need that, residents, please apply and get that help, because we want to make sure everybody has what they need. I want to say thank you to the Fire and Rescue and the everybody who was awarded today, first responders. This week, as everybody has said, has been one of those weeks that are like, you feel like, last Sunday felt like a little bit like a dream, right? Like you were in some sort of strange movie. To me, it was definitely that. I'm close friends with this family. And I got a text message from Mom before the text went out to the whole city saying, and we live fairly close, and she said, go outside, see if you can find him. And I wasn't home yet. I was at Chipotle, honestly. But I, immediately called my husband and my son, and I said, our buddy, this kid that you guys know and love, is missing. Please go look. And I have one of those cameras, or those cameras on my door, and immediately I saw my son run out that door. I don't even know if he put the coat on. Thank God his dad made him come in, put a coat back on, but he ran out the door, immediately started looking. And, as soon as I pulled into our neighborhood, I was headed towards the house, but I drove kind of an odd way into the neighborhood, down Ronald, and I'm going slowly down the street because I'm like, just every minute counts, And I pull down Ronald, I drive slowly down the street towards their house, and I see a woman coming out of her house, or she was just arriving home, and she was walking into her house, and I pulled over, I said, "Have you seen a kid? He's missing." And she immediately I told her what was happening, I told her the situation, and she was like, "Oh my God." She immediately ran in her house. I just kept going, and I came back around the block, and before I was at the end of the block, she was out in her car, immediately looking. And that happened over and over and over again in the immediate moments after the alert went out, and even before, like as soon as the alert went out just to me, I started spreading the word and people started looking. And that immediate, people just dropped what they were doing. People walking their dogs said immediately they just stayed out and they just kept going. And they didn't stop. I mean, thank God that day I'd been out shoveling my parents' walk, and so I had put a snowsuit on before I left the house because I really hate the cold. So I put a snowsuit out before I left the house, and so I was wearing a snowsuit, so I was warm enough. I would stay out all day. I just didn't leave. I stayed out for so long until they said, "Please go home. We need the streets need to be clearer so the drones could be used," and things like that. So I went in there, but even then, like, every time I was sitting in my house, is 2 stories, so I can see most of our neighborhood from our upper floor, and I can see his house. I could see where he was found, and I'm standing up there just like crying, terrified, worried for this child that I love and is loved very much by his family. And I saw this just a bunch of action, and I thought, my God, something has happened. I ran outside and somebody yelled it from the corner, and the tears of joy and the love that was felt by everybody in that neighborhood when they were driving past me. I'm just standing out front of the house and everybody's driving past going, "They found him, they found him." Everybody was so happy and so joyful, and I just was so proud of our community that day, and I know we all felt it in so many ways, but it was so personal and so emotional for me and for my family and for the family who could have felt like they lost their son, and it was so scary and so horrifying. And I know very well that, we as a society, we get invested very quickly, but often our concern quickly turns to suspicion, and that's not necessarily helpful in this situation. So I just encourage everyone to keep that spirit of joy from when he found him, that spirit of help and concern and empathy and love for this family, and wrap them in that, because they need to stay private for many reasons, and wrap them in that. Let's keep that as the lesson from this day of empathy and love and support and community. And let's just keep that going, because that was a really beautiful thing. And I just want to say thank you for everybody who dropped everything to look for this boy who, knew him or not, you loved him. And I appreciate it. I know his family appreciates it as well. That's all I've got tonight. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Geralds.
I have to follow that.
Yep.
Just say ditto.
I am going to ditto your part, yes. Going to go back to Black History Month. If you are not aware, there's a wonderful display at the library about the Underground Railroad that has been there since January, will be there through the end of February. If you have time to look at that, it's very informational and very nice. The Recreation Department right now is doing coffee concerts on Wednesday nights, so wander out because those are a great evening and only $5, and then donations for refreshments that the Women's Club supports. And I just want to, we've talked about how much I totally admire Melissa. We've talked about how much we appreciate our first responders because they're amazing. What I'd like to also address, though, is some really wonderful changes over the last couple of years that have happened at our library and our recreation department. And if you haven't had a chance to go there and see some very unique things that are happening that are not just renting books or having book clubs, there's just some really great stuff there. And just huge kudos to everybody who creates such a great heart for our community.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Fleming.
Sure. So I also want to say thank you for all the community members and also the first responders that did help with the search mission for the missing child, our missing child here in Madison Heights. And you can't say thank you enough to everyone who really did a tremendous amount of work. And it was just really heartwarming that we had so many people that put in so much time for so long, and I'm glad that the outcome was a positive one, and that it was great that we found them in the end. I have a couple of things here. The first is that about the trash. The Priority Waste now, they just released the CEO of Priority Waste today, or yesterday, from the news, and so I look forward, and so does council, I hope, looking forward to working with whomever the new CEO is, that we can address some of the issues that are going on with the trash, that we can make sure that we have a better service in the future, and I'm sure that we'll be able to talk to the CEO, we'll make a visit here to the city, and that we can address a lot of the concerns that we have going forward. So I'll just have to wait to see who the new CEO ends up being and proceed from there. I also want to say thank you to all the people who came out to the coach for the fundraiser also. I know that the staff at the animal shelter does a tremendous job taking care of all the animals that are there for whichever reason. And also that they always use the funds. I know that we have a fund in the budget for them, but anything else that they can raise on top of that goes into the multiple cats that they have there all the time. And also the fluffy puppy, all the puppies and stuff like that, that are staying a short visit. So that's really great that we raised the entire amount of money for the animal shelter. I also want to say one last thing is today is National Pizza Day. And,
oh, sorry. I got excited. I got excited.
And I want to say that pineapple on pizza is okay.
Agreed.
Yeah,
You don't
just
have to
okay.
eat it.
All right, thank you. I just have a few comments to close the meeting up with. First of all, as Councilor Wright had said, and it was echoed by a couple other council members, happy Black History Month this month. Also, congratulations to all the fire department awardees. Very impressive. It seemed like we saw the same guy up there like every time, but that's fantastic and well-deserved award for being the firefighter of the year as well. I also want to congratulate the police chief. I mean, we talked a lot about our community coming together, which it obviously did, I mean, in a grandiose way. I mean, I could not have been more overwhelmed by the presence and everything that was going on, but our police chief did a really good job, and during all of that and all of the chaos that was going on, because we had so many people that were helping, but we also had a lot of other law enforcement agencies that came from miles away to come here to help the Madison Heights Police and Fire Departments find this child, make sure he was safe. And it takes a lot of coordination. It's a lot of stress while you're going through that incident for everybody that was involved. and especially for the police chief, because he actually answered my phone call. So thank you for that, and thank you for everything that you did during that incident, and for everything your officers and everybody that was involved did. I want to say one more time, thank you to Margene for bringing Random Acts of Kindness to the city of Madison Heights. What an amazing, just an amazing lady that she is, and very, very proud to have known her and worked with her for so long as well. Service towing, I mentioned it earlier, but great. Just a great job over all of these years. We can't thank you enough for everything that you've done, taking care of our first responders, getting to the accident scenes, cleaning them up, and making sure people have a way to get home. I mean, you guys have been phenomenal, and I'm excited to work with your company and you guys for another 10 years. So that's amazing. A lot of our businesses over the next couple of weeks will be celebrating the Asian Lunar New Year. This year is the Year of the Horse. So we're going to be attending a couple of functions. One is going to be, I believe, on Saturday, February 14th, and the other one is going to be on February 17th. So we have a large amount of Asian businesses in our city, so that's just fantastic that we'll be able to celebrate with them. Mentioning the animal fundraiser that Melissa had brought up first here, I can't say enough good things about Ricky Bustler and what he has done for the city of Madison Heights. It is just incredible. Ricky was there from the time that opened at the Coach that day until it closed, and he just did so much work and is just always giving back to our city. So phenomenal job to Ricky Bustler and everybody that had a part in that, and everybody that showed up. You know, if it's one thing any of us with pets know, vet bills are not cheap. And it costs a lot of money to take care of the pets that come through the shelter. And without fundraisers, without people like Ricky Bustler and people like all of our citizens that came out and spent money at the Coach and bought into the raffle boxes, I mean, just amazing. Thank you for everything that everybody did for that. Lastly, just to echo what Councilor Rohrbach had said about the garbage trucks, and I know Councilor Gerald said as well, I did have an opportunity to speak with a couple of the higher echelon employees at Priority Waste. And the majority of their trucks, which is good to know, the majority of trucks have cameras, but they have 6 cameras on them. The new trucks that they are in the process of purchasing are going to have 8 cameras on them. So they're able to see pretty much everything that is going on all the way around that truck, whether they're dropping the cans or throwing the cans too far, not picking them up. So they're going to be hopefully getting better and actually using those tools. It was kind of amazing to me to know that with the cameras that are on the trucks right now, they can tell basically where recyclables came from that are not recyclable. So like if somebody put garbage in the recycling bin, they can pretty much tell they can tell what city that came from, and they can call a city and say, hey, put a reminder out not to put these items in recycling. So the use of AI and the use of all of the cameras and the things that these garbage companies are doing are really going up. And hopefully with a new CEO like Councilman Sean Fleming brought up, hopefully we'll continue to get better service and we'll keep on that. So other than that, that's all I have this evening. So I will adjourn the meeting at 7:44 p.m. Thank you all for attending.